Hey everybody, welcome back to Kat's Kitchen. I'm so glad you guys are back with me for another episode. Today what we're going to be working with is a keto galette. And if you're not sure what that is, I'll definitely explain it here in just a few moments. I do want to take the time to ask you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out so that we can push out the video to other people that are just learning to cook and can and, encourage them with new recipes and whatnot. So I'd really appreciate if you could do that for me. So what we're going to get into, this is a really simple, easy recipe. I will link this below. So what I have here is I have our oven heated up to 375. I have a sheet pan over here with a piece of parchment on it that's lightly sprayed. The ingredients that we're going to need, and I'm just going to look off of my recipe real fast here. We need 1 cup of almond flour, 1 large egg, 3 tablespoons of mozzarella liquid, and leave a comment down below if you know exactly what mozzarella liquid is. The way I understand it is whenever you make homemade mozzarella, or sometimes when you buy it in the store, it comes in like the whey or the liquid that, comes off from the mozzarella whenever, the cheese making process is in motion. I don't have that, so I'm going to supplement that for water, and there's three tablespoons of that needed. So let me know if that mozzarella liquid is actually something else from what I understand. I'd really appreciate that. Next, it calls for a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 cup of shredded parm, 2 tablespoons of pesto, 3 to 4 leaves of fresh basil, a 1/2 ounce of mozzarella, and 3 to 4 cherry tomatoes. Now, I'm going to obviously change this recipe a little bit, and I will let you know the alterations that I make to it down in the description box below. But first off, we're going to start with our dough. We need to fix that up right now, so I'm going to show you how we're going to make this dough. Also, I just wanted to mention, anytime I make a keto recipe, it's also gluten-free as well. So if you're gluten-free but you're not keto, hopefully this will help you to inspire you to, notice all these new beautiful recipes that are out there for us. So let's get started. Okay, so I have my bowl here. I'm going to start off with 1 cup of almond flour, like our recipe states. It says that this will yield about 3 galettes. And normally I would double a small recipe like this, but because we're trying it for the first time, I want to make sure that we're going to like it. So I'm just going to stick to the measurements. Alrighty. And then we have 1 egg. And then this is where our mozzarella liquid comes in. But like I said, I'm going to just use some water. I'm going to start off with about 2 tablespoons and see if I need that last tablespoon. Then it says garlic powder in here. It says to do 1 teaspoon, but I like to be able to taste these flavors. I've never made this before, but I am going to add in a few more seasonings to this. I'm going to add in some onion powder, some Italian seasoning. I do have some fresh basil from the garden. However, I'm going to put that on top whenever we make the galette. So I'm going to add in a little bit of dried basil and then a little salt and pepper, just to make sure that this is nice and fragrant for us. Okay, next is calling for 1/4 cup of shredded Parm cheese. Unfortunately, I don't have shredded, but I do have shredded mozzarella. So what I'm going to do is add some shredded mozzarella to our crust, and then I have some sliced Parm Asiago and Romano that we're going to use on top. So it's saying here about a 1/4 cup. Okay. Then it says to mix this together. It showed them using a fork, so I'm just gonna replicate that. Use a fork here. I can tell already that I'm gonna need that other tablespoon of water. So I'm gonna get that going. Almost like making a pastry in a way. Okay, so that's what we have currently. Okay, so next what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring in our parchment here. Your dough should be a little bit shaggy, but still when you press it together, it should be able to hold its shape. I had to add a little bit more almond flour just to bring it up to where it needs to be. It says that this yields 3, but I'm just gonna split this dough in half and then we're gonna shape it out here. You can either shape this out with the back of a spoon, a spatula, or your hands. Just shape it out in a round shape. And you want it to be about a ½ inch thick. Okay friends, so here we are. I have our dough that is evenly distributed into 2 galettes. What we're gonna do now is fill the center, and then we're gonna wrap the edges around the middle, and then we're gonna bake it. So I'm gonna start off with, the recipe calls for pesto. You can use pesto on this. You can do red sauce. You can do a simple basic olive oil garlic sauce like what I'm going to do. Basically what we're making is a small pizza that's folded up on itself. That's really all this is. So this is extra virgin olive oil, and then I'm gonna take some garlic, fresh minced garlic here. Well, minced garlic, I apologize, not freshly minced. I have, that's actually, they say whenever you buy like that from the store, it's actually elephant garlic. But elephant garlic, if you ever grow it, supposedly it's easier to grow and peel because it comes in such a large clove. Okay, so I just smeared that around. And next we're gonna start adding our ingredients. You can literally put anything you want on this. Just think of it like a pizza. Anything you would want on a pizza, you can do it up like this. So I have some sliced cherry tomatoes. I have some mozzarella over here that I'm trying to open. And I have my fresh basil, and then I'm gonna throw on some purple onion as well. This is our sliced mozzarella. Trying to keep it in slices. You can do it, and if you want to pull it apart a little bit, you can definitely do that. This is going to be like the rustic charm look. It's going to be really pretty. So once we put this all together, we're going to use the parchment paper to fold up the sides. That's why that parchment paper is really important. And then we're going to bake this for about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay. Got our cheese on there. I am also going to put a little bit of that cheese mixture I told you about. I've got some shaved Parmesan, Asiago, and Romano cheese blend. This is from Sam's Club. And I'm just going to grab some of that and sprinkle a little of that on for some extra flavor. Very nice, okay. And then I'm just gonna add in some of our tomatoes. You don't have to slice them. I like the way they look when they roast and they're sliced, so that's why I did that. And then I have some prepped, red onion over here. I'm just gonna pop that in there. And you can make it look pretty. You can do a little design if you'd like. And then I'm also going to come in here with my fresh basil from the garden. These are little leaves because it's not a mature plant yet. So it's gonna fit perfectly in this little galette. Just because I don't have a ton of basil, I'm gonna dust this a little bit more with basil, just because I really want that flavor to come across. And there's nothing better than fresh mozzarella, tomato, and basil. It's just such a clean taste. It's amazing. So now you can see I'm just using the parchment paper to help me fold up these edges onto itself. And then I can kind of pinch it together once it's up on itself like that. And like I said, we're gonna bake these at 375 for about 20 to 25 minutes. If you need to use a spatula, you can too. I think I'm gonna have to use a spatula for this little guy. Or let's see if this will work. Perfect, yep. And then when they come out of the oven, we're gonna drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil, fresh olive oil, before eating. So here's how they look before they go in the oven. Okay guys, check out our galettes. They just came out of the oven about 5 minutes ago. I've let them rest because I wanted to taste them, and I just wanted to make sure that they weren't boiling hot. You can hear we've got a nice crust on there, and it's moving around like a pizza. It looks like it formed together pretty well. I just want to show you the bottom. Look how lovely and brown that is. Hopefully you can see that. So in a lot of these gluten-free crust recipes, they do, a lot of them have cheese in the crust recipe. I think that also helps as an extra binder, because as the cheese melts, it helps to kind of form what would be gluten from wheat, and it just helps bind that together. So let's give this a taste test. So this is holding up really, really well. I noticed that my dough mixture was a little bit more moist than the picture shown. And I'm gonna try to show you the underside too. If you can see how beautiful that is. It's actually standing up on its own. Looks really great. It smells amazing. I'm just gonna cut this into like a little pizza shape, and we're gonna take a little sample of this. I think letting it cool definitely will help. Like I said, the recipe called for the time to be between 20 and 25 minutes. So we'll see. We'll see with the taste test. That is good. That is so tasty. It tastes just like pizza. I do admit I tried making a cauliflower crust pizza last Friday, I think it was, and it did not turn out well. It's not that it didn't taste good. It tasted amazing. It just did not hold up like this did. This is super, super yummy. I'll be honest, if my pizzas turn out like this from now on, I can make dough like this. I don't even I wouldn't even need to go back to wheat products anymore. If I can make breads and, you know, flatbreads and pizzas like this is an amazing recipe, guys. Definitely, I'm glad I added all this extra herbs into the crust because it gives us so much more flavor. Look, you can see the herbs just all the way throughout there, and all the brown bits are all the cheese that has been melted. This is super good. Honestly, I would give this like a 10 out of 10. Like I said, you can jazz this up in any way, put any toppings that you want on here. I mean, this is amazing. So for lunch, because it's lunchtime now, I'm gonna have one of these, and I'm also gonna have my it's my beer cheese potato soup. I made that just a couple days ago. And so I meal prepped a little bit, and I'm going to be putting out a short on that. So stay tuned for that as well. You'll be able to see that. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe so that we can push these videos out to other people who just need inspiration on new videos, or people that are just learning how to cook. I like to help people even just starting out as well. So thank you guys so much. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye, friends.